Today we will be learning about the four-quadrant coordinate grid. We've already learned about the quadrant 1 grid, which is the positive grid. And today we'll be doing all of the quadrants now that we have learned about our negative numbers. So last week we talked about that number line where we have 0 in the middle and going to the right, going up, those are our positive numbers. And when we go to the left, going down, those are our negative numbers. So you can see here, this looks just like that number line from last week. Now this number line is going horizontally. This will be our x-axis. Now crossing that vertically is going to be the y-axis. And you can see same number line, it's just turned vertically. We've got 0 in the middle. Going up, we've got our positive numbers, and going down, we've got our negative numbers. So this is what our coordinate grid will be looking like today. Instead of looking like a letter L, where you've got your x-axis on the bottom and your y-axis on the left, it's going to look like a giant plus sign. And in the center we have 0 or 0, 0, which is called the origin. Now you can see I've got my four quadrants labeled. In the right, the one that we've already worked with is the positive coordinate, because both my x value, which is on the left, and my y value, which is on the right, will be positive. Now, this section to the left is the negative positive coordinate, because the value on the left, my x coordinate, will be negative, but my y coordinate will be positive. Going down here to the bottom is the negative quadrant, because both the x value and the y value will be negative. And finally, this is the positive negative quadrant, because the x value will be positive and the y value will be negative. So remember, for all of these, your x coordinate is the one that's going to be on the left, and your y coordinate is the one that is going to be on the right. So today we're going to work on plotting coordinates. Plotting means putting the dot where the coordinate would belong. So you can see I've got some ABCs here that are on a coordinate grid. Now feel free to print this out, or if you don't have a printer, you don't want to waste the paper because you're running low, you can just write down or just tap the screen or write down the letter of the alphabet that it would be at on a piece of paper. So our first one is -1, 1. Now that -1, the first value is the x value, so we'll be on the x-axis, and the 1 is the y value. So I've got my x and my y. Now whenever you plot these, you need to start at the origin, which is 0. So start by putting your pencil on the 0. Now my x value was -1. So remember, the x-axis is the horizontal one that is going side to side. So I'm going to start out by going backwards 1. So I'm going to go to -1. Clean that up a little bit there. Okay, so I'm at -1, so my pencil is sitting on -1. And now I need to go to 1 or +1 because it doesn't have a sign. So +1 means I should go up, so I would get the letter H. That's where I would land. So for the rest of these that you see here, you may want to pause it and then check and see if you did it right. Pause it and check and see if you did it right. So the next one, 3, 4. So I'm starting at 0. Now 3 would be +3, so I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, and I stop on the line there. And then 4 would be +4, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be letter F. Okay, now try plotting -1, 3. -1, 3. It's kind of hard to see there. So starting at 0, I'm going to go backwards 1 on the x-axis, and then I'm going to go up +3 on the y, or parallel to the y-axis. So 1, 2, 3. So I would land at letter A. Okay, next one, we're going to 5, 4. So I'm going to go to the right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would land at letter D. Okay, next one, plot the point -3, 5. So -3 means I need to go backwards 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would be at letter K. Okay, next one, -2, 1. So I start at 0, I go backwards 1, 2, and then I'm going to go up 1, and I would be at letter B. Okay, now plot the point -4, 2. -4, 2. So figure out what letter is there. So I'm going to start at the origin. -4 means go backwards 4, so go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 is a +2, so I'm going to go up 1, 2, and I would land on J. Okay, now we're going to go to 1, 2. So both of those are positive since they don't have a sign. So starting at 0, I go to the right 1, I go up 2. You should have landed on C. Now we're going to go to -4, 3. So starting at the origin, go backwards 4, and then you're going to go up 3, and you land on G. And the last one, going to 1, -1. So 1 would be positive since it doesn't have a sign. So first I'm going to go to the right 1, and then since it's -1, I'm going to go down 1, and I would land on the letter E.